First of all, I wanted to clarify that the PBOC easing is a overly simplified notion, or the expectations by the market participants. But I would rather to say that the Chinese monetary policy is accommodative, but not loose, but not very loose. Being the macro constraint is that the leveraging efforts in the macro economy is very much still the target of the central government by transiting the nation's economic development model from fixed asset investment driven to domestic consumption driven, right? So that is a macro target to stay on. Therefore, the monetary policy cannot be too loose as to run into another round of asset prices bubble. So that having being said, I think globally we moved from a macro regime of synchronized central bank policies to decentralized or dispersion in central bank policies, and we see the different paces of hiking. The emerging markets had to hike much earlier than the developed market, which and ECB and the Japanese central bank has very different operations from the Fed. China is different from all the developed economies on the relatively accommodative monetary policy. What it meant for asset allocators is that it creates truly discorrelated asset classes for us to construct a portfolio that help to balance different macro cycles. So, for example, the last year when the expectation of hiking started, and the second half to the first half of this year, broadly speaking, in the global bond market, it was not a pretty picture, but the local currency denominated Chinese bond market, not the offshore bond market that was dominated by the real estate credit, but the local credit has offered perhaps is the most underowned, underappreciated asset class, which is very large and offered discorrelation to literally every global asset class, with a negative correlation and a positive absolute and relative return. So that's just an example of what the dispersion of global macro cycle means for allocators.